We had a question on exercise number 6. The first thing we need to do when we start the AutoCAD drawing is make sure that we have our grid on. For this exercise, because we're not going in square directions, we don't have to have a snap the grid on. I'm going to have it in the beginning just to find us a good point, but I drew it earlier. I'm going to erase this one and start from here. So how does it work? We're going to start at this corner. We're going to travel 2 units in this direction. Well, what is that direction? All the angles are either straight up and down, like these two, or 30 degrees from the horizontal. So how do we figure out our angles? We place an imaginary line at the beginning of our line, and if we go straight to the right, that's 0 degrees. If we go straight up, that's 90 degrees. If we go straight to the left, that's 180 plus 90, that's correction. If we go straight up is 90 degrees. If we go to the left, that's 90 plus 90, that's 180. And if we go straight down, that's 180 plus 90, that's 270, and another 90 would put us back at 360 or 0, just like on the ship, the compass on the boat. So we put an imaginary line here, and we're traveling all the way almost to 130, but 30 degrees up from that. 30 degrees up from 180. That's 150. So this length would be 2 angle 150. The next line would be straight up. So we put the imaginary beginning here again at the beginning of the next segment. This would be 0. And we're going 2 units straight up. So that should be 2 angle of 90. 2 angle of 90. The third segment, also a length of 2. This time we're going up from the horizontal that would begin here. So that's an angle of 30. So 2 angle 30 put us here. And now we're going 2, but this time we're going down. There's 2 ways of doing that. You can go 2 angle of negative 30 because we're down in the opposite direction, clockwise, from the way we measure angles in AutoCAD. Or you can also say 2 at an angle of 330 because the angle of this line from this line, if we went the long way, counterclockwise, is 90, 180, 270, 360 minus 30. That puts us at 330. So 2 choices here. 2 angle of negative 30 or 2 angle of 330. When we type that, we'll end up here. And this line is straight down. There's 2 ways of doing that. And notice what we're doing on this line is that we can type exactly the same input we put here with just a negative because we're going, this time we're going up and that time we're going down. This time we're going up, that time we're going down. So we can do it like what we did here except put a negative 90 in front of it and we'll be fine. So 2 angle of 270 because that's 0, 90, 180, and 270 puts us here, or 2 angle of negative 90 if we measure clockwise. Either one of those inputs will put us here. And the last one, you can type C for close. Or if you want to do the exercise and figuring out what this angle is, we can do it. So that's a length of 2. Angle of, remember, we always put the origin here, imaginary. We have to be able to do this in our head. Angle of 0, angle of 90, angle of 180, and that's 30 degrees past 180, so that's an angle of 210, or the length of 2 at an angle of negative 150. If you remember, the first line is 2 at an angle of 150. So let's do it in AutoCAD. First line. So we go to the line command, you click on the line, it will ask us for the origin, or if we have a snap to grid on, which I have on right now, I'm going to start at the origin here, which is right by this XY. I'm gonna click right there, and then I'm gonna just, so it's not snapping because I'm not drawing squares or rectangles, I'm gonna turn my snap to grid off. There we go. So I can go anywhere. I am gonna go two units at an angle of 150. So I'm going to type at 2 angle 150. And it puts me there. I do not stop. I just continue typing. I'm going to go 2 units straight up. So that's, and you notice how AutoCAD is kind of telling me what will happen if I do this. Right now, 2.1 units. It's measuring what my cursor is and telling me. But I'm going to tell it myself. 2. So I'm going to say at 2 angle 90 straight up. Let me do that again. If you screw up, don't exit, don't panic, just type U and hit enter, and it puts you back where you started. One more time. At 2 angle 90. That should draw me a line that's straight up. That's 2 units long, and there it is. The next one, I'm going 30 degrees up from the flat. At 2 angle 30. Let me try that again because I typed it in the same box. At 2 angle 30. And it puts me right there. So there's half my hexagon. If you were in a hurry, you can just mirror this. Put a mirror right here, and you'd have your geometric shape drawn. But because we're doing the exercise of figuring out the angles, let's finish it out. So I'm going to go line from here. I'm going to travel 2, and this angle is 330 minus 30, or negative 30. Either way, angle of. So I'm going to go at 2 angle 330. The fifth line is 2 units straight down. Straight down is 270 degrees. At 2 angle 270. And the last unit, if you have your snap settings on, your snap cursor on, you could snap to the end point of that, but I want to input that. And I'm zooming in a little bit. I want to input that length. So that is, I'm still traveling at 2 units length at an angle of 180 plus another 30. And if I come from the counterclockwise dimension, if I come from the clockwise direction, it's going to be 150 degrees in the negative direction. I want to put positive numbers in. So at 2 angle 210, and that should close my geometric shape. So that's it. That's how you do that one.